All right, so we're going to look at 2.1.5, number 2-52 is what we're going to look at first. So it says when writing an expression for part A of problem 2-42, Ricardo wrote, so he's got 2x minus 3 minus quantity x plus 1. So I'm going to write them side by side here. 2x minus 3 minus quantity x plus 1. And then Francine wrote negative 3 plus 2x minus quantity x plus 1. And so they want to know, Francine says that their expressions are equivalent. So is Francine's conclusion true or false? Use algebraic properties to justify your conclusion. So what I need to do is work these side by side to determine whether they are equivalent or not. So let's take a look at them. Okay. So I'm gonna actually I'm gonna simplify them first, and then I'm gonna point something out. So I'm gonna simplify them first. So to simplify this is 2x minus 3. And then when you have a minus sign in front of parentheses, you take that minus sign and you actually do it to both sets. And because this is an x plus 1. So it's going to be minus an x, then minus the positive 1, right? So because that's a plus 1, which is a positive 1. So minus an x minus a 1. And then we continue on. So I've got to combine like terms. So I have my like terms here, I've got a 2x and minus an x. And remember, when there's just an x with no number in front, it means a 1x. So 2x minus 1x is 1x. And then the other one would be the minus 3 and minus 1. So a minus 3 minus 1, it's a negative 3 and a negative 1 makes that a minus 4 or negative 4. So there's my, and I can just write it without the 1, x minus 4, right? So another way to kind of make sure we're understanding this is looking at this minus. Remember, minus means plus a negative. So I could look at this, and when I have a minus sign, it's always plus a negative. I can change any minus sign to be plus a negative. So that's why that negative 3, negative 1 makes this a negative 4. So it becomes plus a negative 4. And plus a negative 4 is the same thing as minus 4. So it all simplifies to be x minus 4. Let's see if we get the same thing over here. So over here, again, I'm going to just rewrite the first part, negative 3 plus 2x, and that minus sign distributes to each of those pieces. So it becomes minus x, and instead of plus 1, it's minus plus 1, right? So which is a minus 1. So now we've got, again, I could go ahead and just say this is plus a negative 1x and plus a negative 1. Combine like terms. Start with the x's, a positive 2x and negative 1x gives me a 1x, right? And then a negative 3 and a negative 1 gives me a negative 4. And then that can be simplified again. The 1 can go away, and it's just really x minus 4. So sure enough, those two are equal, right? So those two, so we get x minus 4 on this side, x minus 4 on this side, they are equal. So Francine's conclusion is right. So we use the algebraic properties, basically combining like terms, distributing the minus to simplify to get the same thing. I wanted to point out actually real quick at the beginning that I could have seen that they are the same by just using the commutative, right? So the commutative, remember properties, commutative, let me write it over here, commutative property. Commutative property is where you can take anything around addition and switch them. So this right now says negative 3 plus 2x. Now I'm going to say 2x plus negative 3, right? And 2x plus negative 3 is the same thing as saying 2x minus 3. So look what we've got. So right over here, I've got a 2x minus 3 minus all of that. This becomes now a 2x minus 3 minus all of this. So now if I look at these two in that form are the same. And so really I do have right there, I could stop and say they are the same, because all that's different is those two were flipped around. And using the commutative property, I can make it so.